Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and in today's tutorial we are working block 1 of the 2021 Directional Afghan. However we want to say it, right? So this is called the chained links. Okay, so it's a super simple pattern. It's a 2-row repeat. We work row 1, row 2, and then we repeat 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 4, all the way up until we have 17 chains. These are our little chains right here. Okay, and then we go on from there. Not a hard one, super simple. You're gonna need a few things: 6mm crochet hook, scissors, which I happen to have with me. I don't have to wonder where I put them, a tape measure, and optional, a 9mm hook, which I just used to slip stitch my chains up. You don't have to. You can actually use your 6mm. And up to you, but you may want to get some stitch markers or some scrap yarn for stitch markers to help you with stitch identification while you're working your pattern. Other than that, that is it, guys. So, obviously you're going to need one of the 2 colors, 3 or 4, how many ever colors you choose for your Afghan. One of the colors that you chose. And with mine, I chose Crafter's Secret Big Idea from Hobby Lobby. And I have to tell you guys, this yarn completely shocked me. Like, I thought this was going to be Hobby Lobby's cheap, what's the word I'm looking, like their cheap stuff, I want to say. But I don't want that to come off wrong, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it is totally not. This is some nice yarn, you guys. And I was super excited when I grabbed it, because I honestly had never even messed with this yarn before. I've seen it 100 times, when I go into Hobby Lobby, but I never messed with it. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to grab it. And I grabbed it and I picked it up and I was like, wow, this is some really nice yarn. I never knew. So that's just the yarn I'm using. But get your guys' stuff together and let's get started. Okay, to get started, you're going to need a chain of 35. And the stitch multiple for this pattern is 5. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20. You guys are going to need 35 for your 12 by 12 square. And I'm going to do a smaller little sample because I've already got mine done. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So go ahead and get your chain 35 done and then come back here and we're going to work row 1. So for row 1, we're going to half double crochet into the 3rd chain from hook. So it's 1, 2, 3, half double crochet into that 3rd chain. And then we're going to half double crochet into the next 2 chains. That's 1 and 2. So we have 3 half double crochet and then a little chain 2 right there. All right, now we're going to chain 10. And when I work my chain 10, I want my chain 10s throughout my block to have the same tension. So a little trick I do is when I chain my 10, if you listen, I do this. You hear that pop? I do that for every chain 10 for this block, so that way my chain has the same tension throughout the block. All right, so we got our chain 10. We're going to skip 1 chain, and we're going to half double crochet into the next. Now here's the thing with me. I have a huge problem with working a double, a half double, a treble, any stitch that has a yarn over at the beginning. I have a problem working that after a chain. So I have a little trick I use, and if anybody else is the same, you'll know how annoying this is. But what I do is I yarn over, and then I just set my finger here, and I hold my yarn over and my loop that's always on my hook, and then I come down to my next chain. Remember, we're skipping a chain, and into the next chain, and then I go ahead and yarn over, and now I hold all 3 with my thumb and my middle finger right here, and then I pull through all 3. I don't know if that's just me or if it's something that everybody has a problem with, but I have a huge problem with working any stitch that has a yarn over first after a chain. That is the biggest pain to me. Okay, so we skipped 1, half double crochet into the next, and half double crochet into the next 3. So we're going to have 4 half double crochets after our chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we chain 10 again, and if you listen, I'm going to do my little pop. Okay, I did my chain. I'm going to skip 1, skip my next chain, work my little half double crochet into the next, and into the next 4. And that's what you're gonna repeat all the way across your chain, and you should end with a half double crochet into the last 4. So your end of your block should look just like that. Okay, so work that across your block and come back here, and we're going to move on to row 2. So for row 2, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn our work, and we're going to half double crochet into the first 4. So yarn over 1, 2, 3, and 4, which I know does not necessarily look like a half double crochet. And there's something I want to talk to you guys about in just a second. We're going to keep going until we get to it. All right, so we half double crochet into the first 4. Now into that chain that we skipped on row 1, we're going to work a treble crochet. So yarn over twice, go right in there, and we're going to treble. Okay, and now we're going to half double crochet into the next 4 stitches, which is the half double crochets from the last row, right? Well, here is my problem, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong or you are the same or what have you, but when I look at this, I see half double, half double, half double, half double, half double, which is not right, correct? We only have 4. So what I've learned, and I thought I'm going to make sure you guys know this too, just in case any of you have the same problem I did. When you're working, this is row 2 and row 4. It's this block is only a 2-row repeat, but once you get past row 2, that's when it repeats row 3 and row 4. So sorry, I just wanted to get that in there. Anyhow, so what I want you guys to notice, see right here, that is the camel hump, the back hump of your last chain, and this is actually your first half double right there, which it's a little offset, so it's a little confusing, right? But right there is your first half double, and then your second, your third, and now look at your fourth. It looks like a chain, right? Trying to get it to where you can see. Right here is actually your 4th half double, which looks like a chain, but it's actually not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I turn it around, okay, so we worked our 3 half double, chain 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4 half doubles. And if we go back, there's our first half double. So it is very, very, very easy to get confused. And trust me, I was all kinds of confused until I figured this little trick out. And this is how my brain works. This is how I learn. You know, like how they say some people learn by doing, some people learn by seeing a video, some people can learn something just by being told. I learn by trial and error. I learn by trying to do it, doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. Okay, I got it. And I come up with the weirdest little tricks to learn how to do things. So I want to show you guys my trick, hoping that it could help somebody else in the same situation. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. All right, we're at row 1. We worked our half double, chain, half double, chain, half double, chain 1, turn. Okay, so here's our first 4 half double. Well, you know, those are easy to see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, work my treble into the skip chain, and now I'm to my half doubles, my 4 half doubles that are a little confusing. So what I do is I pull it, and I look and I say, okay, the first thing on my next group of stitches that isn't confusing to me is right there, and that's my first half double. So I'm going to half double into it. So that's my first, second, third, and now my last one is a little confusing. It's my 4th one, and it's the first one from the previous row. A little annoying, but that's my 4th. And that's that is the weird way that it works in my head for, you know, for me to understand. And then I know next is a treble crochet into the skip chain. Oh, I forgot to yarn over twice. Treble. And then I'm to my chain, my 4 half double. So the first thing I do is tell myself the one that actually looks like an actual stitch is my first half double. Half double in the second, third, and then the one at the end that doesn't look right is actually my 4th. And that's what you're going to repeat across your row. Half double crochet into 4, treble into your skip chain, half double crochet into your 4 half double, treble into your skip chain, all the way across, and then you should end with, make sure I show you that, guys, that again, a half double crochet into the last 3 half doubles. Last one's kind of awkward. And then the 4th one is actually going to be into the top of that chain too from the beginning. Remember when we skipped those 2 chains and then half doubled in the 3rd? Those 2 chains we skipped is where our 4th half double to end the row is going to go. Now, having me told you my little trick, don't be afraid to use stitch markers, and at least until you understand where you are or how in your mind you can make sense of that. And I could be completely wrong. You guys could totally understand it and know it and not have a single problem with it, but I do. Like, I'm kind of odd like that. Like, the simplest things will confuse me, where the most what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like, the simplest things can confuse the crap out of me, but the most complicated math problems, let's say, I can understand, which it's quite annoying to other people. Anyway. All right, so that was the end of row 2. We're going to move on to row 3. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn. So now our little chains are facing us. Okay, so we chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to half double crochet into our first 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our next stitch is our treble. So we're going to chain 10, and I'm going to do my little pop. 2, 3, 4, 5, There's my 10. So we're going to skip that treble and we're going to half double crochet into the next 4. So to work my half double crochet, which is after my chain, and it's a big old pain in the butt for me, I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to hold it, skip my treble, go into my next, yarn over, pull up a stitch, hold all 3, and work my first half double, then half double into the next 3. 2 and 3. And that's what you're going to repeat for the rest of this row 3. So I worked 4 treble. Now I'm going to chain 10. All right. Now I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to hold it, skip that treble, go into the next, and then I hold. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So repeat that all the way across. 4 half double, chain 10, skip your little treble, 4 half double into the half double from the previous row, chain 10, skip your treble, 4 half double all the way across, ending with a half double crochet in the last 4 half doubles. Okay? All right, here is the last round of the pattern. So at round 3, and then this round, row 4, this row is the repeat for the block. So we got to the end of round 3, chain 1, turn, and we're going to half double into the first 4 stitches, which is the first 4 half doubles. My last one looks wonky, but that's my 4th. I hope you guys get a kick of the odd way that I learn, or that I get myself to understand. I know I'm a dork. Anyway, so we have 4 half double. Now we're going to treble into our little skip treble down here. Okay, give it a little tug. All right, now we work our 4 half doubles into the next 4 stitches, which is our 4 half doubles from the last row. And I look at it and I give it a little tug and I say, okay, the first stitch that actually looks like a stitch is my first half double. So I half double into that, the second, third. The last one looks really wonky, but that's my 4th stitch. And there you go. And then we're just going to repeat that. Treble into our skip treble. I forgot to yarn over twice again. All right, so repeat that across, and coming to the end is just a half double crochet into the last 4 half doubles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now all you're going to do is repeat rows 3 and 4, chain 1 and turn. Now I do want to say, which I'm sorry, I should have said this sooner, when you're working row 4, make sure your chain 10 is to, like, this is the back and this is the front. So when you're working row 4, make sure your chain 10 is to the front of your work and out of the way. So that way, when you get your block done, you're going to have a bunch of these little chains hanging around. And I will be right back, and I'm going to show you guys what yours should look like once you finish your block. Okay, so I am back, and I have repeated rows 3 and 4 until I have 17 chain 10s. And what I ended on is the row 3 with my 17th chain. Now that is important. End on your row 3 that has your 17th chain, okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Good. I did it right. All right, so now is where our 9mm hook is going to come in. And you don't have to have this. I find it is a little easier and it does kind of help. But what we're going to do now is we're going to somewhat, I have a piece of hair right there. We are going to, I guess you could say, slip stitch these chains up the block. Oops. oops, don't do that. Up the block. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my first, grab my second, and then I just bring my first over my second, and then continue that around, up. Grab the next one, pull it to me, bring the first one over. So it's pretty much like we're slip stitching. It's just a little easier with doing it with your hand. Grab your next one, bring the one on your hook over it, and up. But like I said, you don't have to have a bigger hook for this. You can actually use your 6mm. I just prefer not to because there's been a couple of times doing this that I accidentally got this stuck in my chain and it stretched the chain out, which I did not want. Alright, so go ahead. I'm going to show you what we're going to do when we get to the end. Okay, so I've got my last chain here. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull that through. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a tug, just so it stays there, like I don't lose it. All right, so go ahead and repeat this, you know, slip stitch in your chain loops up your block. And then come back once you get your last row done. Okay, I'm back and I've got all of mine slip stitched up. Isn't that so pretty? It's such a sturdy looking block. Like that's what comes to mind is sturdy. I don't know why. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna chain one and we're gonna turn. Okay? And I'm just gonna I'm gonna hold on to that first chain loop because I don't want to lose it. But we're gonna half double crochet into our first 4. I forgot to say, this is our finishing row. Okay, so here is the first 4. And what I am gonna do is just simply go in there and I'm gonna work a single. And then I'm gonna go right into the next 4 stitches and I'm gonna work my half double. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Put my hook into the loop holding all my chains tens together, and I'm just going to work a single. Half double crochet into the 4 half doubles from the previous row. 3, and grab my loop so I don't lose it. My last awkward looking stitch, and I'm going to single crochet, and I see a hair. I'm going to single crochet into my loop, my chain 10 I mean. Now all that's doing is just kind of keeping it from sliding out and us losing everything. Okay, so I singled, now I'm going to half double into the next 4 half double. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Holding on to my loop and go right in there and work a single. Half double into the next 4 half double. 2, 3, and my last awkward looking one. 4. Uh-oh, about lost my loop. And I'm going to single crochet right into my loop. Got one more loop on here I don't want to lose. So I'm going to half double into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Single crochet into my chain 10 loop. Come on. And then half double into the last 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 1, pull up a loop, and that is it, guys. That is the end of our first block. And look, I got my scissors here. All right, pull out your loop, fasten off, weave in your ends. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the top here, and I'm just gonna kind of straighten it out a little bit. Let's give it a couple little tugs, kind of move things around. Okay, so what I want to talk about now is that I realize that some people, you know, your block after working your 35 chains may not be, of course, oh, here it is, may not be exactly 12 inches, right? So if I hold mine out, and don't go over your chains, because the actual, like, from your block to the top of your chain is actually giving you length when you're measuring. So when you go across, you know, it's not right. So what I do is I'm going to come down here to right underneath my chains. And I'm going to measure. And I am just a tad bit, and you know, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did just kind of tug on it a little bit. Let's say I didn't do that. Okay, have it the way it was, right? And see how it shows 11? This is why, you know, if your tension is a little bigger or a little looser or a little tighter, this is one reason I gave you guys the stitch count. And another reason, well, before I move on, I should say the reason I gave you the stitch count is so that you can go and work your, let's say you work a chain of 35, right? And your tension is different than mine. And let's say your chain of 35 comes out to be 10 inches, right? But you've only worked your chain. And let's say you work row 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, right? And then you measure again and you're like, holy cow, it measures 11 inches now. But when you tug on it a little bit, you know, it's just about there. Like, it's just about to 12 inches. So I would suggest that maybe go up, go down a hook. But if you are that close to 12 inches, this is what we're going to do. And this is what I am going to do. I'm in a block mine, okay? So if you notice, I just tugged on it a little bit. And then now look at it. It's at 12, well, just about 12 inches, right? But it kind of looks wonky. Like the top looks funny. And it wants to roll up on me. It's all just kind of, you know, like it stays like that. This is what the blocking is going to do. The blocking is going to loosen all this up. And it's just about there. It's going to loosen everything up. And it's going to lay nice and flat at 12 inches. So if yours, you know, if you can't get yours to 12 inches and you don't want to block, go up a hook. Or if it's, you did your 35 and it's way over 12 inches, go down a hook size. And it should be pretty darn close. So, having said that, I am going to actually do a video dedicated to blocking. I'm not going to do it right now. Or, I mean, in the near future, I'm going to do it. But this is the end of our block 1. And are you guys seeing what I mean when I said the directional? Our other blocks are not this block, but see if you guys can figure out what I mean. I mean, it's obviously not that hard, but this is what I've always wanted to do an Afghan like this, where I don't want to give it away, but I mean, I'm going to stop talking. All right. That is the end of our block 1 tutorial. If you guys need any help, shoot me an email, leave me a comment, anything like that, and I'll get to it as quick as I can. So, do not miss the next block in February, or any tutorial I put out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, click that you want all notifications, or tap or poke, whatever you need to do, and then leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Join my Facebook group in the description box because I want to see your guys' blocks and the colors you choose. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. See the colors you guys choose. That has me excited. And yeah, look in that description box. I got all kinds of stuff down there for you guys. All right, I'm going to go for now, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye.